Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Coffee Time with Coach Ja. It's your boy in the building. You already know what it is. I'm going to be in rare form today just because I feel like I deserve it. I feel like I can do that. And if nobody don't like it, I mean, what they going to do? You can't beat me. How long you can play the music? Oh, 90. Okay, okay. Please appreciate it. I might consider that. I also want to do it and stream through the actual it's some things that I want to do. I need to set up my podcast situation, and I'm gonna set all that things up and get my speaker, not my speaker. I need to get the mic stand that sits on the table or the one that stretches over. I'm gonna get that together. So there's a few things I need to do. There's a few things I need to do. I am going to start a Saturday open mic on my live. I don't know if I'm gonna stream. I might probably still stream on YouTube, IG as well, but I'm gonna do a Saturday open mic, and I might do a late Friday night for adults. Only because I know that there's some things that I want to incorporate. I have a host of different um, competitions. All of you who are writers and have not published, had your writing published, Beverly, good morning to you. Have not had your writing published before. I am offering so many different opportunities for you to do so. I didn't really use this email. Okay, I have a lot of opportunities that are coming out that are going to be used that ways for you to be published, because I don't like how, if you've ever known, if you're a writer, right, and you've ever sent your work to be published, there's so much there's so much that you go through, and most of the time a lot of poets, a lot of writers, their work that they've submitted to be published doesn't get published. A lot of times they're sitting there and they're waiting, and then they hear nothing, and then they hear, oh, we didn't accept your stuff. And so why should I continue to allow writers to, have to live like that when I can fix that? I can fix that for myself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fix that so that you don't have to worry about whether or not your writing is worthy of someone else's opinion. Obviously, there's going to be some sort of because I have to pay people to read the writing, so there has to be some sort of fee. But it's going to be different, because instead of just writing to be publishing, to writing to enter competition, I want to be able to, at some point, be able to pay people to get it done. But if not, for the most part, what we're going to do, we're going to turn those into books. And the reason why I'm doing all this work, and I'm so really pushing books is for several reasons. One of the reasons, we have to start reading and teaching our youth to read, and that we should be reading more. And I don't read as much as I feel I could or should, but I want to start that, and maybe even start a situation where we're all reading something and talking about it. I wanted to do a book clubs situation, but I don't have the timing for the book club, because the way my working is going now. But there's a situation that I can create to create such a thing, and we're going to do that. We're going to read about certain authors, certain poets, and I think it's going to be a good look. But I want to do it in a way that people are really grasping the idea that how important reading is. And I'm going to have a competition, several competitions. I already have several ideas of my next master classes. I have 4 masterclass ideas that are coming to life right now that I'm very excited about. And these books, I want to be in universities. I want to donate them to high schools. I want these young people to get into reading, and I want them to. I'd like to be a situation where we can donate it to a senior class, or you know what I mean, things like that. And so if I hit you up about that, because it's something I want to do. Okay, talk to me about it, D Librarian. That'll be great. And if you are able to make these things happen, please reach out. But I want a lot of these books, because of what we're writing about. Okay, what we're talking about. I want them to be groups of discussion, and I don't want just seniors to have them, right? But I like to give it as seniors to walk when they graduate from their schools. They can take this book and have it, and hopefully they'll be reading it. Eventually, it will be a course of study. Eventually, I don't think poetry should wait till college. and I do know some high schools do teach a little bit, but I think poetry needs to begin um, in middle school. I think they need to learn the importance of language and writing and literature. I don't think we spend enough time on literature, and I'd like to bring that to the forefront um, in schools, like especially in public schools in our in our community where we don't we don't get to read. We don't make reading a huge thing. You know what I mean? I don't think we're pushing reading as we should, and I want to get to the point where I'm sorry, I'm getting comfortable here. Frugal, good morning to you. I want to get to the point where when you go to middle school in our neighborhoods, right? Reading is not just Miss Betty and good morning to you. Where reading poetry is not just a thing that you love to do. Good morning, everybody coming in. I can't see everybody on IG, but thank y'all for tuning in. I want reading to not just be a thing that kids do because it's what the teachers make you do. I want to begin a process that helps them learn what language is and what reading is early. And so I have so many ideas that I'm putting together. For y'all that were asking about, they was asking me yesterday about going to my place. And so the woman who's bringing, a good friend of mine, by the way, who's bringing me into the artist in residency, she has to self quarantine for a few days because of this COVID mess. So I have to wait up because I don't know what the COVID situation is right now. And so we're going to pray for the best, and I'm hoping for the best for that. But it doesn't stop with the process. There, I'm going to go ahead and put things forward anyway, and then I'll get inside the building when I can. But there's some self quarantine going on right now, so that's what the process. A lot of people had asked me about it, and then I had a few messages yesterday. So just to let you know, it's not like it's just a COVID situation right now that's preventing some movement. Right, I can still work. It doesn't matter what I do, but I'll just do this part before I walk into the building, and that's fine. But I'm going to announce some things. I'm going to finish up some stuff. I have to work on today's program with AJ, and I'm going to talk to him right after I finish up. Then I have a meeting I got to do at 2:00. But yeah, and so I wanted to be clear, y'all. I don't want to talk about yesterday. Let's leave yesterday where it was. The whole scenario. I don't want to talk about that. And I want you to be mindful, everybody here, be mindful of things that you post and things that you say, because there are going to be laws written about things that can be said that are somewhat illegal. And you're going to have people in position who can get away with things that you cannot. So be mindful of the things that you post, the things that you like, and the things that you share on social media, because that's the first place they're running to when they want to serve you up the way they want to. And don't get it twisted. Certain things I'm never going to run away from. No shower. These people don't like black people. And there's some things that you need to learn as black people. Until we unite together, we are always the weakest links, right? Because we're not together. We're not locked in. So please be careful and mindful of things that you say and post in public for people to can design their own idea from that. Okay. Yeah. So I was also on Facebook, right? And what happened, how Facebook show you, it shows you memories and posts that you did. And there was a post, and I don't remember what this post was, but it was a poem that I read that I posted. I'm going to tell you when I posted it, because I posted it a few years ago, I think. It was like 2 years or so ago. But I posted it. I'm going to read it because because of what the poem is, and because of, I think I have an idea who this poem was about, but I'm going to read it anyway. And yeah, y'all, I'm sure y'all don't mind if I read a poem, right? Y'all don't mind? Today I sat heartbroken. Her story captured me frozen. I begged for forgiveness. I begged for this to be a dream because he wronged her, and this story is too familiar. So much of my family smothered in this rule of disgust, and it hurts. I'm so tired of these lumps, the ones that yield me from swallowing, the ones that hit that line eye sockets and embrace necks. The other grows with every heartbeat as I imagine her tears running down her cheek, pounding its way through hurt. And as always, she is left asking me why. Another woman scarred and asking, where was my guardian angel? My heart sickened, weakened yet again as another bites down on her tongue, swollen spirited because he decided that losing control is justifiable. Now she's left to tread unsettled waters alone, broken and battered by betrayal. Dear men, do you know this kind of fear destroys a woman? Her spirit afraid to fly through the walls that you've boxed her in as out of stupidity. Did you forget you once traveled in a similar canal? Did you forget the triple darkness dwells about but only one place in this galaxy, and she holds the might of those secrets. Her hand belongs your hands belong not around her unless it be for love and protection. How dare you? You are a man, just a weak coward who sees her as prey. Disillusioned to a fuckboy status, I now know what that means. It's you. Picture perfect. Blessed with the organs of a creator, but you are more demon than God. I hate what you stand for. You use liquor as an excuse for your weakness. Drunkenness is your scapegoat, but we don't accept plea bargains here. And I have to stay quiet because I'm sworn to secrecy. My pledge to my friend and the countless others whose stories I've heard, and it hurts to the point that my teary eyes can't fathom. So for now you are free for now. But I suggest you run because now she is my family. She is with her family and now she has protection. And you are not welcome here. Love don't live here anymore. Consider yourself an outcast. Consider yourself evicted from paradise. And consider her found. Lost only from your clutches because now she lives in the bosom of love. We have her secure here. And you will never see her hurting again. I know exactly who that was written for. Now, I've had plenty of sisters that I know who've entrusted me with some things. Who trust me with some things that yeah. I a bunch of sisters who have trusted me with some things that had happened in their lives, and I won't ever tell their secrets. But I have their back. I will always protect them. I will always be there for them. And we need to protect our community. We need to protect our community. Sisters, I'm going to tell you like this here. I will never fault you for a situation like that. But I will warn you, look at the signs. And sometimes there aren't signs. And if this is a trigger, I don't mean to trigger anybody, but listen to what I'm saying. The moment there's a sign, don't wait till it gets worse. And like sometimes there isn't signs, but most of the time there are some signs. There are some signs that maybe maybe, and you need to be wary. You need to be wary. You people need to know where you are and what's going on with you in your life. We've got to work on that. We have to work on it as a community. As a community, there's a lot of people that don't really understand how that works. But as a community, that's what we need to work on. And speaking of community, one of my listen, I've known this brother since grade school. I want to say since I was in maybe the second or third grade. I've known this brother. So we come from East New York, where I'm from, and he's doing some amazing things in the building, in the community, man. So y'all get it from my man Tim. What up, Tim?
What's up, John? How you feeling? AKA Dahu.
Yeah, listen, I'm good, bro. It's good to see you, man. It's good to see you, man.
Likewise, love is love.
Yeah, I've been meaning to get with you for so long. We always kind of passing each other in the middle of all the work we do. But before we get started, tell the people who you are, where you're from, tell them what you do in the community, and just let them know who you are.
Timothy Fowler from East New York, Brooklyn, and been here for going on 17 years. I'm a teacher of 30 years, pre-K, kindergarten, and fourth grade. But started a mentoring program for boys called Boys to Men Foundation, and it teaches leadership skills, character building, workforce development, and all around just empowerment of young men in transition into manhood. So we've been doing that here in Charlotte, going on 11 years. We have 120 boys in the program. We partner with the YMCA, CMS, and Hendrix of Greater Charlotte. And that's Mercedes-Benz, Lexus, BMW, and Audi. So we do an apprenticeship program with them during the summer. And right now, actually, we had a session last night, and 5 of the boys actually have different jobs throughout Charlotte. Some works at Blaze. One of the young men works at Harris Teeter last night, and he actually saved $5,000 in his bank account. So, you know, just wonderful, wonderful.
Man, so, I don't have $5,000 in my bank account.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I told him, listen, actually, one of the boys, he worked for Blaze, he missed the session last night. So I called him. I said, you're going to buy me dinner tonight. So I actually went to Blaze Pizza last night. I put it on our Instagram where I was eating last night at Blaze in University area. And he actually paid for my meal and everything. We sat there, chopped it up, talked about, you know, he said he broke up with his girlfriend. And we talked like that because he actually lived with his grandmother. And his father's incarcerated. So we was really getting, he said, listen, Mr. Fowler, I don't want no girlfriend, they expensive. And I said, my man. So so those little things that, you know, they don't get to talk with and don't have, you know, not comfortable with their mother, you know, we break bread. And I literally, last night we was breaking bread.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, man, because, you know, everybody have that one thing that says, okay, this is what I'm going to do with my life. This is what I want to do, right? Now, we live right across the street, so we know what it's like growing up in the hood and being a part of that. What was that defining moment for you, if you could remember, that said, you know what, now this is what I'm doing and I'm staying here. This is what I'm going to do.
Well, I don't know if you remember when I was in East New York, I got in a fight. I got stabbed 2 or 3 times.
Oh, you did?
And it was on Georgia Avenue. Well, it was on Georgia Avenue. So I actually, Andy put me in his car and went to Brookdale Hospital. And this was in my early 20s. And at the hospital in Brookdale, they had this, I had a collapsed lung. I got punctured in my back 2 times. So they had a tube on a gurney in Brookdale, going in my nose, all the way down my throat and chest and stuff like that. And I was still awake. And my brother, you know, Omar, he ran there and everything like that. And I told, I was looking at the white lights and everything and said, if I get out of this, I'm not ever going on that block. So you don't understand. When I left, I never came back. So the pivotal part of my life is when that happened. And some other things transpired. I don't even want to talk about that because I don't know who's listening. But but that was that point when that happened. Got off the block, never came back, and moved into my place, and then moved to Charlotte. And that's it. You know, all this. A gentleman came to me and said, "Hey, you know, you work well with kids. Let's come together and think about doing something in the community." And that was about 12 years ago. And it came to fruition where we started with 4 kids, and now we got about 120, 125 kids. So, and about 500 kids graduated out of the program over the past 11 years. We kept we have way over 1,000 kids that came through the program, and just wonderful citizens. Some graduate college, some are currently in college right now. I can put you on speakerphone and drop a dime, and it will start talking up a storm. So that's the connection I have with boys. I keep them in my phone. We chop it up anytime they need something. I never had to really take anybody that was in the program to go to the precinct to get them out of anything, because once they in it, they already know my expectations, and it's been a wonderful journey.
You know what? I'm just realizing. So y'all that don't know, like I said, we lived directly across the street from each other when we was kids. Yep. I'm not talking about teenagers. I'm talking about kids, right?
Kids.
So when I got shot up, bro, I was in Brookdale Hospital. I had the chest tube going in my lung because my lung was collapsed. Almost lost my left lung, and I had the freaking tube down my nose, bro.
Yep. You put that daggone joint on your penis. You got the catheter on your joint. You gotta
listen, bro.
You piss and blood and all that. Yeah. Like look,
at the bottom of your
hey, bro, look, it took a month to have sex. You don't even listen. You don't even have sex no more. Like, hey, listen, get away from me. You understand? When you transition and those things happen, you can talk about it, and I let the kids know, y'all don't know what tough is. Y'all think about it, you say about it, you listen to your rappers, and they're not even tough. That's a facade. They ain't never been through nothing. They got a 2-parent household. They had their own bedroom. Me and my brothers and sisters, we had to share 4 of us in one bedroom. And you know how our apartments are. People think when they drive through, one family lives in those houses. There's about 2 or 3 other apartments in there. So, it was tight. And that we grew up is on our block. Nothing never happened on our block. That was off. And we was like family. Like we would go to each other's houses. Your mama knew my mama, and I'm breaking bread with your mother. She cooking, and it is what it is. So they don't have part no more, So we had I had more good than bad. But we tell those kids that, make sure you have your plan, because we really didn't have a plan growing up. I knew what I liked to do, and I never thought about college until that upper high school level, that 11th grade. And by that time, it was a little bit too late for where I wanted to be at, but it's all good. Where I'm at, I'm satisfied. I wouldn't change nothing. So my pain is somebody else's, survival.
Yeah. Well, I first want to say thank you for your work. I watch you get awards. I watch the write-ups. I get to read them and see them on Facebook. And what I really appreciate about what you do too, bro, and I know it's part of just that where we come from. We don't feel like we're special because we're doing this work. It's just this is the work that needs to be done. And you don't walk with this air like, oh yeah, I'm doing this and I'm doing that. But your work speaks for, like, I see the posts all the time. I see the write-ups, and I'll be like, look, that's my man. And I think the beautiful thing about it, I know your heart forever, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Listen, y'all don't understand. Like, our little brothers know each other. Like, our whole family know each other. I couldn't come outside without looking across the street to see if they was outside. I mean, it's that kind of thing. We talking about boxing gloves with cardboard boxes. Mitchell's building.
I remember that. Uncle. It was somebody uncle. Who uncle was it? It was somebody uncle. Listen, we ain't gonna be fighting. Y'all put the gloves on.
The gloves on. And then playing football in the middle of the street. Right? And then
I got these straight right here.
Oh,
straight
wow.
Right here. Got these straight.
Let me tell you who I hated to play against. Isaac. Because he used to catch the ball running like this, and the ball used to just drop right there all the time. I hated playing against him. I don't know why he didn't go to the NFL. Tyrone little
Yeah,
brother.
that's
He should have been.
Tyrone. Tyrone little brother. Yeah, Tyrone little brother. And what's that little tall Tim? Tall, skinny Tim. He was
Yeah.
another. He could throw the ball though. He could throw the ball, but
Throw the ball a
and
little
what's
bit.
the little Malik and all
Malik.
of them? Yeah,
Me and Malik used to
Yeah,
fight in
he
the
was-
army all the time, man.
yeah. Malik was
I don't
quick
know.
though. That little boy was quick. But he was
Yeah.
quick. He was quick.
Yeah.
He was quick. He was quick. He was quick. Love it. Love it. Love
Let
it.
me ask
They
you
all
this.
see the thing.
Go ahead.
No, the things that we didn't have was like that YMCA up the block, the rec centers. So we made our own rec centers. See, the
Yeah.
thing is, we used to play people on Killer Cop and Coca Livio and Roundup. We had that abandoned house, 2 houses next to Mike House, and we get like 5 and 10 mattresses and jump from the second
Yeah.
story door. And I tell people all the time, your kids are soft. I said,
Yeah.
we will run full speed out the window, assuming that mat is still there.
Well, assuming that
And-
Matt is still there.
So yeah, we wouldn't even look down. We would never even look down. So, people don't have that like that. I'm trying to tell them. I said what we did when we was 10, 12. I'm talking about 10 and 12. But we look at our sons now, and it's not, we don't have that freedom for our kids like we used to do back in the days.
Yeah. We had a whole community on that block that would learn you everything you need from one house to another. All the way going down to what's my homegirl's name? Francine and them, all the way down there before you get to
Tony. That's Tony Wilson. That's Tony Wilson.
Oh yeah.
Tony Wilson. And then the old lady down the block had the house with the dog on it.
Yeah.
She had the house right next to the supermarket.
I went to they had a comic book thing here, a big comic book convention at the Charlotte Convention Center, because that was my first job when I got to Charlotte. And I saw oh man, I forgot his name. They had the black and white dog that used to run around in the circle all the time.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yo, I ran
that's
into, I
what
was like, yo, what's good? Like, it was amazing to see something. So here's what I try to get people to understand. Maybe you can share some light on this. When you come from that era when everybody was someone to look up to, right? Like, people did what they did, but they didn't do it on the block. We didn't see that shit on the block. Like, I mean, people did their stuff, but we didn't see that. We had fathers and uncles and aunts that had no blood connection to us. Would you say that was a lot that helped, mold you into this person you are now?
Well, like I said, we saw a lot at early ages. I mean, we had the drug, we had the West Indian Jamaicans do on the building next to mine with the steel door. And you remember Sweat, he got high that LSD stuff. He stand on cars butt naked. And if nobody on this show knows, Sweat about 325 pounds, and the cops just let him, they wouldn't even touch him. That's how he is. But Sweat was cool. He acted a little crazy, but he never messed with the kids. Never. If you had 20 people chasing you, you run on Sheffield and Sweat there, everybody stop.
Instantly.
So police, I look at things with now with the police now, they would just rough us up a little bit, do whatever. Never ever one of us ever got shot or was scared about getting shot by a cop. Ever.
Yeah.
That's the difference between society now and then. We just went there, listen, we're gonna get bashed in the head with a bully club or whatever. But like I said, Sweat was disorderly conduct, stand on the car butt naked. Those cops did not even touch it. And those are things that, I remember. And like I said, we thumped, we played together, we fought, and then we drink, smoke, whatever, do whatever afterwards. So that wasn't that type of era where we see now, because we were so more independent. We were so more free thinking to think for ourselves. We was innovative with making the games up. Those are games that we knew. So no, I didn't know about recess lighting. I didn't know what an island in my kitchen looked like. Didn't know all that stuff. But I did know that, hey, we're going to play some football. The Raggedy football, we go sewer to sewer. Light post is first down. Is what it is. You know, I can't even tell you how many people windshield I broke by trying to dive for the ball. So we don't have that. You know, we don't have that. Society is not the same like it was, you know.
Yeah.
So it wasn't nobody trying to snatch nobody off the block, kids, things like that. What we had, you know, I tell people all the time, neighbors next door, you know, she was how for crack, everything, you know, it is what it is. It became the norm. It was like, is what it is. So those are things that made me learn to talk to these boys more in depthly. You know, mother's on welfare is what it is. I know what she's on, but doing it to me, I could resent somebody all they want, but if you try to take care of yours, so I tell people all the time, Caucasian people, black people, you know, people is not here to abuse welfare, but if you got 4 to 7 kids, what kind of job you want to have that's going to help feed and clothe and pay the rent?
Yeah.
So you're going to need those type of assistance. Okay, it's nowhere, you know. And I talked to Sam and Tyrone and all of them still. Kevin's down here, Janice peoples and stuff. So Kevin's down here in Charlotte. So you know, we had, I tell people all the time, we had a block. We had probably, to me, the hottest block in East New York. And I tell people all the time, and I tell people all the time, if Sheffield realized the Hegeman, that was it, period. It was like a little city. You know, we rarely, it was, you know, we go to what you call it, block around the corner on Hegeman to go get the corner store or wherever you, or the Jamaican spot, you know, where they sell. We knew they sell weed. Bosco. We knew this. That's what it was. You know, you go in there, they have about 5 things on the shelf. That was it.
Bosco's always smelled like soap.
Yeah. So you know, yeah, Bosco's right there, and the Chinese restaurant right next door. That's it. That was our world. We go there. We go to Woody's and get our hair cut. That was it. We go to Woody's and get our hair cut. So
my mom,
that was our.
I didn't get my hair cut until I was a teenager. My mom's cut our hair all our life until I got old enough to pay for my own hair.
Well, your mom's was like the first like Afro-centric Mother Earth person I ever met in my life. That was the first one, and then came Tyrone's mother, Francine. So we had those type of women like your mother and Tyrone's mother on our block, and they accentuated like the blackness of Africa and, you know, dreads and this natural hair from back then. And they was just natural holistic individuals. So we had that stuff that they talk about now. We had it way back then. And just self-esteem and self-empowerment that they promoted back then. Like, y'all make sure y'all up. So we had that. And we didn't have it too much for the men because the men was out there working and always doing whatever they're doing. So, like I said, we had our town. And I tell everybody, that was a block. That was our town. It is what it is.
It is what it is. You know, you go in town, they got Chinatown. They got the place where all Italians have their own little Italy. We had everything we needed on that block, bro. To be honest with you, we look at it like this, right? Now, everybody didn't have money because we damn sure didn't have money. But nobody kids look like, oh, we got to call somebody to come take these kids from their parents.
No,
not on that block.
Nobody was hungry.
And we ain't that, and like nobody had money. We all was broke as hell on that block.
like you, like on your side of the street, you didn't even have to go to the soup. You didn't have to cross the street to go to the supermarket. The supermarket's on your side, so you can go straight at the corner. And that's it. Boom. So that's it. Your mama gave you a note, gave you that money. Yeah, listen, you better bring me my exact change and call it a day. So that people understand that's what we had on the block. And nobody outside our block had a fight with nobody that was outside our block because we shut it down. I tell people all the time, if we get beef with each other, it is what it is, you know. But like I said, Fats and Sam and everybody, we go in the house, we break bread, they come in the house, and that's what
Yeah.
it's about. And we don't have too much of that no more, because it's not that sense of community and trust.
Bro, we used to play Skelly in the street till we had to go in the house. You can't even see the top sliding across the street. It's so dark.
Let me tell you real talk, because he was in your building, and Bernard, you know, Bernard was gay, and let me tell you what Bernard used to do for me, because my mother never had it. Bernard used to give me his clothes.
Oh wow.
Bernard used to give me his clothes. Everybody would tell him they won't fuck with Bernard though, because I think Bernard had one fight and he fucked somebody up. But they call him, you know, they call him gay, homo, faggot, and all this. But I would talk with Bernard. Bernard, we would talk and everything. Never came on to me, never did all that stuff. He knew I like, but he was a good dude. God rest his soul. He was a very good dude. And he would pass me on his Levi's and his jeans and shirt. He was tight.
Yeah.
You know, Bernard,
I didn't know
he come out the house.
I didn't know he was.
Yeah, that was a while.
Wow.
I got a sister, yeah, I believe, yeah. So, you know, this was a while ago, but he was a good dude.
Yeah.
Good dude. And you know, we had all those type of people on our block, you know. We had all those type of people on the block when they, you know, they told about Mike getting, you know, what happened to Mike and this and that. And, but that's the life you live. We told them. I told with me and Tyrone and Tone, we're like, listen, man, we ain't doing that. And then you going off the block. See, when you go off the block, like, you know, it was with Musk and Wayne and everybody on, you know, Vermont, New Jersey. You with them dudes, you know,
things change.
they find. I tell people all the time, you don't understand. They was finding out my dudes' bodies in Canarsie Pier. So it was a different. It wasn't no games. These dudes was getting chopped up.
Yeah.
In bags. So, you know, I can't even imagine just the torment that had to go down with Mike. Because Mike was me and Carlos and all that. Everybody was good. So to find out what happened to Mike was like, man, he couldn't even have an open casket. So you know,
that broke me. That hurt me because I hadn't seen Mike in a long time. And when I heard how it happened, I was like, wow. And that hurt me. I can't imagine what his parents went through, bro. I can't even imagine.
So you know, it was like, I tell you, that's when I realized, you know, life shifting. Everything was shifting. Everything.
You know, Mike was the one that introduced us to playing. Mike was the main one that we played Manhunt and Kill a Cop with. He was the one that made that happen. Mike, man.
Because Mike thought he was a little bully and all that. I had to shake him up a little bit because he really thought he was, you know, he's kind of chunky. And I'm like, man, listen, I'm about to tussle you up, boy. You know, you always thought, come on, man, are you crazy? You had to, you know, whip somebody into shape and all that because he thought he was acting like a little bully. But and I said that demise and stuff like that. So it was just the time that we had and learned a lot. I tell people all the time. That's what molded. Because we in third grade and we walk into school by ourselves. Our parents did not walk us to school. No. We from third, fourth grade, and we got to cross over Pennsylvania Avenue itself. So you know, that's what we had to do every day. And it's not, I tell people all the time, I said, it's easier walking 2 miles on a dirt road than crossing that one Pennsylvania Avenue. I said, that's 4 lanes of hell. So
no speed limit. That's the Audubon with a red light.
Yeah. So, you know, we did that every day, and we was 8 years old, 9 years old doing this. So, and we look back at it now, we're like, damn, our parents didn't give a damn about us. But that's what we was doing. We was going to the pizza shop at 11, getting a slice.
Yeah.
Nobody was with us. We get our money. We go in the pizza shop, get a slice. It was just it's what we did. We knew how to count. We knew how to count our money. We knew how to ask and get what we needed. You know, we got what we needed. We didn't get what we want. We got what we needed. It was and I told these kids right now, that's the biggest difference. One of my kids last night was wearing $300 Gucci slides because he got his job. And I said, dude, it better be the last thing you ever show me that's not a need. You don't need those. So we gotta, and it's really this ain't no drug money and this and that, but now you gotta know how to invest it. So we're gonna be doing a class next week about investment, especially ones that's working. So now they can actually get Robinhood on their phone and start investing their money. Yeah.
I just learned you can invest in Cash App too.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just that simple. And
Yeah.
that's a class that adults need to take. All of you adults that are on here, you need to look into that because I used to think that you have to buy one share, the whole share. I didn't know you can invest just $5 here, $2 here, $10 here, $50 here. I didn't know you could do that. And so we need to learn that stuff because a lot of people are living in the stock market and making money like that. So that's good. Listen, bro, it's amazing to see. Like I said, talking about all that we've been through, right? All that we've seen when we were young and then turn and come full circle like this. Like I had no idea I'd be teaching. I didn't go to school to teach what I teach, right? I didn't go to college for that. I had people used to tell me when I was in Jeff, right? Because I went to Jeff, I was a badass. They wouldn't let me go nowhere else. They said, no, you going to Jeff, right? Mm-hmm. And when I was in Jeff, my teacher told me, said, listen, I see you teaching. I see you talking in front of people, scores of people teaching. And I was like, nah, bro, I'm not doing that, son. Now, you know how, in the class lab, you going to teach it. I'm like, turn around full circle. Here I am actually teaching. And wasn't even, Brooklyn taught me how to be a teacher. Living through what we went through taught me how to get there. And so like, it's good to see that I wasn't the only one touched by that, bro.
Yeah. Because when I went to college, it was going to be for engineering.
Oh, wow.
And I went to did Syracuse and I did New York City Tech. And something happened with Calculus 3. And I was like, oh, I can't do this no more. So I was listening, I was in a house listening to WBLS. It was about male black teachers and this and that, full scholarship. Oh, so and they give you a stipend. They give you a job in a daycare. So I was like, okay. I was the only male. I was class full of women. Oh, I said, oh God, this is the place to be. So that's how that started. It was just me redirecting from engineering because I worked for the phone company. I was getting paid to get less money but less stressful too, is something I enjoy doing. Yeah. So when you walk into a class of 5-year-olds and they looking at you and you're the only black man, I still do go to work with a suit and tie on. So I could tell them, go outside and climb the tree. They'd do it. They would do whatever I told them. So that's how much influence that, a teacher has on somebody. So you have to be conscious of the power that you have. It's power. And your words means a lot. That's what I tell people all the time. And thank God that Twitter and Facebook shut Trump down because your words mean a lot. And you got to understand that when you do it, you got to be held accountable, for your actions. I told kids, listen, man, I want you to go home, go look at a knife and go stab somebody. If they do it, your words is powerful. If somebody look up to you higher than they do themselves, only God is so there's nobody is higher than me besides God. So I'm not going to look at you and bow down and do what you tell me to do. But as a child and somebody who has influence, you got to understand that they taking your words literally. And you got to understand the power that you have with those words, with those texts. You tell a young lady that's 10 years old, oh, your hair's a mess. You just, no, baby girl, you are beautiful. Keep on with your head up and keep striving and being who you're supposed to be, a queen. So when you talk power, talk life into somebody, they take that. They take that. So that's why I was so disappointed yesterday watching the news. We was in our mentoring session talking about it, and just those boys was like some because this was my older group, the 18-year-olds, the ones that could vote. And they was just so happy to say, thank you, I voted for the right person. Because that was like despicable. And if it was the other way around, it wouldn't have got that far. When I posted something on my Facebook and Twitter and like, Black Lives Matter, you had just like the whole National Guard, like we really gonna bum rush the Capitol building. Y'all make it so obvious on how you want to treat Black people. But you have these terrorists. What's terrorists? I mean, you on U.S. soil, breaking into a government federal building and terrorizing it and vandalizing it, and you, first of all, you live it. So if you was in North Korea, if you was in Russia, Germany, or whatever, you'd be dead. You'd be straight. You, your family, and everybody else.
Yeah.
And what made me upset a few years ago, a woman drove her car to that same Capitol building and she was shot. You shot.
I remember that.
You got a Capitol officer, state Capitol officer running inside the. No. I would have unleashed the whole clip. There would have been. You in fear for your life. You got a mob after you. Come on now. I don't know what type of leadership the sergeant, the captain, the mayor, and like I said, I don't care if a person is a Black person in leadership, white. I don't care. If you messed up, you messed up. That was poor management on the protection of those senators and those cabinet members in that state capitol building. It was horrible. And I don't care what the color of your skin is. If you're here to serve and protect, you need to do what you're supposed to do. And it was horrible. And they did not do the law enforcement, intel and chiefs and whoever's in charge, supervisors did a horrible job of protecting that building. Horrible.
Yeah.
I thought I'd never seen nothing like that.
That looked like a school, park, playground. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't even.
Yeah, what's that movie? White House Down, House Down, whatever that's Olympus Has Fallen, whatever.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like. That's what it looked like. I'm looking at it like this. That's exactly what it looked like. I'm saying,
I'm waiting to see people. I'm like, this is going to be a massacre.
Yeah.
It's like that's what you were expecting to see. Like this movie is going to end up as a bloodbath. And not that I wanted that, but that's when you think about it, that's what you expecting to see. They ran up in the Capitol. They didn't stand outside. They stormed the building. And I was like, yeah.
That Black officer that ran up the stairs, he would have all rights to unleash his whole clip if he wanted to.
What made me that really troubled me.
Yes.
Wonder, because if he is in every right to protect himself in that moment, why did he hesitate?
Yeah. That's what I want to ask that. That is the question because I'm gonna tell you from experience. You hear one shot, you go an opposite way. If he'd have shot one time, they would have stopped.
Yeah.
Once I would have got to that top of the stairs, that one who kept on following me, I'd have got him. He would not have been, because I'm in fear for my life. You got a crowd, a mob after you. So yeah, your question that you pose is valid. Because why? Because why wouldn't you stop a Black person in the street that you already got your gun, your hand on your holster, and you tell him to reach for his ID, and you still shoot him?
Yeah,
but you got a mob. You have a mob throwing stuff at you, coming at you. and waving stuff at you, throwing things, and like he picked up that little baton. That ain't gonna do nothing. So that's the different mentality. And I tell people all the time, that's why I showed my kids in the group A Time to Kill. And when it was that part of the movie, he talking about the man's daughter, Samuel Jackson's daughter, how they raped her, threw beer cans, pissed on her, dragged in the street. All the white people's eyes was open until he said, imagine if she was white. Even as a black person, you still bow down to them because they white.
Yeah.
If that was a black mob come at you, that black cop probably would have shot them.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, I think because you mentally is in the back of your mind, hell, I think they superior to me.
Yeah.
No, I think that's what it is. If it was another colored group, I think the outcome would be different with that black police officer.
Yeah.
Period. You still think of these people as kind of better than him. And that is the problem. Because I don't know if he was more being respectful or more intimidated. I don't know which one it was.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know.
That was Miss Betty. That's the comment for you. Man, I'm gonna tell you, there's gonna be a lot coming from it that
Thank you, Miss Betty.
That we're gonna get to talk about and have plenty of discussion about. I want to ask you this because we come from the Mecca, and I try to ask my guests this every time I get a chance. Top 5 hip hop most influential artists. Top 5 all time, dead or alive. Top 5.
Rakim, KRS-One, Jay-Z, because we were at the West House, I got to go with Jay-Z. Biggie and Nas.
Yeah.
That's it. That's
it.
From now on, and I don't put them in no order. There's no order. There's no order. It depends how I feel that day. It depends. If I feel like put my kente cloth on and get black, I put my man KRS-One. If I feel like a little hood, a little education, I put Nas on. If I feel just hell with everybody, I put Big.
Yeah.
So it depends. And if you just want to hear some lyrics, Rakim. If you want to just hear, you just want to lay back and just put it on. So those are my 5, and I just arrange it in that way.
Right.
I said nobody don't like that.
I always take Rakim and put him by himself. I always say, first I say Rakim goes by himself in a certain category, right?
Yeah.
And then I go into this. So I always got KRS-One in there. I gotta have Big in there. And it depends how I feel because sometimes Kane get thrown up in there too. Listen, right? Because it might be a G-Rap. Listen, I started a G-Rap station on Pandora. I should have never did that. I should have never did that.
but listen, I tell you, but Nas, man, that dude right there, boy, he can hit you, boy. And he got that new. Listen, that Nas live, it just it hits you. It hits you.
Yeah. I got So one more question I always ask too. Top 5 most inspirational people you would love to meet, dead or alive. Top 5. Doesn't matter what they do or however they inspired you, but whatever that top 5 is.
Let me see. I definitely want to meet Obama because just the transition of what he had to go through and I just love his stature on just what he had to go through, things like that. Frederick Douglass, Harriet Tubman, because the strength of her barefooted, traveling 1,000 miles barefooted and just learning to navigate through, and her memory, just doing things by memory and instinct, and God, how it
My cousin Rule said,
What's up? This might be, you know, and the Dalai Lama. Dalai Lama. Well, definitely, definitely would love to meet somebody of a high spirit of that, and Malcolm X.
Yeah.
If I could sit and rap with him, because just to know that people judged him by what he said, but did not know him as a person. And like I said, he went from jail, poverty, street hustler, and we all had that change in our lives and things like that. So as you open the statement, what made you change, and then to speak to him and just how educated he made himself. Like all these people did not go to college. This was not those. Everybody is self-taught, self-learned, and they was there to help society, not just Black people, but just to help society to be better. And they wasn't afraid to learn. Like Malcolm X was, always, boom, boom, changing. And when he went to Mecca and just, I see Black Muslims and things like that. So that's what it is.
I would have liked to. I would have loved to have Malcolm speak about the movie. And so I think what a lot of people don't know about those movies, that they're so beefed up and set for entertainment that you don't get, because a lot of people base everything on that movie to be true, and a lot of them are actual facts. And well, my family grew up in the nation, so it's a lot of stuff that people don't know.
I know. Yep. Yeah. Well, Betty Shabazz was my professor at Medgar Evers.
Really?
So yes, sir. And so I would chop it up with her, and that's why because I would get a lot of things out of her, and she was just like, and she was such a good person, and just she tried to help and raise her grandson and for that, things. So even though you can be famous or whatever, you still try to help your kin, and sometimes it's not always the best thing to do, and that's was her demise and things like that. So, all just like you said, a lot of things. Those are the type of people I would like to sit with and ask questions, take notes, and and then let them speak.
I'm gonna share a secret that a lot of people don't know. I wrote Sister Betty Shabazz a letter, probably 2 months before she passed, and I didn't get to mail it off before she died, and it hurt me that I didn't send that letter, and I don't know what inspired it, but I didn't send it, and I wish to hell I would have sent that letter just for response, because I know she would have responded, because that's who she was, and I never got to send that letter off. I felt like that crushed me, because I wanted. There's some things I wanted to say to her, right? Not necessarily ask her, but things that I wanted to say, because she was such an inspiration. If the people who follow who she was and what she did. Yeah. Well, look, huh?
No, I think I had a picture of me and her in my room, but I share that with you later.
Yeah, you gotta let me see that. You gotta well, I got a picture with Dick Gregory.
Yeah, man, a pleasure. Thank you, man.
Listen, bro, I'm gonna have you on again another time for sure. I definitely want to talk more about what you do in the community, some love with some folks and stuff like that.
Okay.
So listen,
pleasure, man. Thank you, Job.
Yeah,
Miss Betty, thank you for the wonderful comments, Miss Betty. I appreciate that. She was rocking with Nas. I don't know if you see that, but she rocking with Nas.
Miss Betty is the truth. That's my people. She's the truth. Listen, man, I appreciate y'all every morning. Y'all know we're here Monday through Friday. As always, I challenge you today to be better than you was yesterday. You have everything you need to be great and amazing. So why not stop being amazing today? And it starts you looking in the mirror and telling that person in the mirror how much you love that person, because nobody can love you like you. So why not start loving you today? Shout out to my man Tim for coming through, and I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow morning, same time, same channel. Peace and love. Tim, hold on.
Okay.
Hold on a second. Don't hang up.